our sorority is Alpha Sigma Alpha. We're the Zeta Mu chapter at Missouri Western State University. We have 55 members currently. It's always kind of a joke when you get in. It's like, are you a nursing major or an education major? Because that's where most of our girls fall. But I think that's more just because those two majors are very popular at our school. I mean, a lot of people come to this school for nursing. But I mean, I would say we have a good variety of every major. We have a lot of communication majors. We have some art majors. This year's actually been a really great year for us. I mean, there's always going to be those low points, but as far as the year as a whole, we've had a really great year. We had one of our members win Homecoming Queen, so that was a lot of fun. Obviously, we won Sorority of the Year. We got the highest GPA. We got the best, or the Junior of the Year. I think we got a lot of good new members this year.
I knew that I had wanted to be a part of a sorority, and when I went through recruitment, I kind of fell in love with ASA. It was just the sisterhood that I found, and I love their philanthropy that they do with Special Olympics, because I love children, and I had really thought about going into special education, and so it was something that I really liked, and I just fell in love with it.
I decided to join ASA. I joined 2 years later. I joined when I was a junior, so I joined last fall. I mainly joined because of their philanthropy Special Olympics. My boyfriend's sister has autism, and it's really near and dear to my heart. So I was really excited when I found out that was their philanthropy. So I was like, yeah, ASA, the entire time with the recruitment. It was really hard to say not biased, but and joining so late in my career in college, I knew most of the girls, so it was kind of like joining my friends, but already having them as friends, so it's kind of cool.
And I've always kind of wanted to be in a sorority and like be in a group of people that all loved each other.
Well, I went through recruitment because in high school I didn't have very many friends. Even though I did like different organizations in high school too, and I did dance and all that, I still didn't have a lot of friends, and I didn't want my college experience to be that way. So I decided going Greek would probably be like the best idea to start off getting involved. And ASA just, there was not another none of the other sororities compared to ASA. There were so many things about them that I fell in love with, and no matter how open of a mind I kept, I couldn't choose anybody else. I had to go ASA.
As soon as I joined, I knew that it was basically a forever home. When you join, it's for life, and once you're a part of ASA, you don't really ever question not being a part of ASA.
We've really worked on building our sisterhood a lot more, and so that's been a lot. It's really brought us together and made for a lot better and closer year, and we've accomplished a lot because of that. We also have started this new thing we call sister dates. So at meeting, we randomly get paired with another girl in our chapter, and you have 2 weeks to get with that girl and get to know her better, do something fun. And those have actually been a really good success, because you're getting together with people that you probably usually wouldn't talk to, and so you get to know them a little bit better that way. We also have started a sisterhood night on Monday nights. So each Monday night, just as many girls as want to, we get together in the Greek dorms, and we just kind of sit around. You watch movies, you study, you do basically whatever everybody wants to do that night that's going to be most beneficial. So when you get into sorority, you have these things called Big and Little, and it's basically just like your mentor, and you get to pick somebody that has really made like an impact on you, like so far. So it's like 3 months in, you pick, and so within those 3 months, somebody that's really made an impact on you, who you think is just going to be a really great example for you. And so I picked, it was actually my roommate at the time, and I think she's really one of the big parts of me being so involved in sorority. She was very involved, and she just had such a heart for the sorority, and she wanted to leave her mark, and that's kind of just rubbed off on me. So I think that's probably one of the biggest parts that kept me involved the past 2 years.
My big was definitely the most inspiring member, I thought. She was currently the president, and before that she was member ed, and I just couldn't imagine being in the sorority without her. She definitely was someone to look up to, and unfortunately she is graduating, so it's really upsetting, but she definitely left a big impact in our sorority, and just a very inspiring woman to look up to.
My big is a lot of fun, and we have a lot of fun together, and she helps me sign up for classes. I've never once signed up for classes by myself, and she always tells me what teachers to take and which ones are easy, and helps me with my education.
My big is my best friend. My big was actually my RA when I was a freshman, and I knew her going into sorority, and she joined late like I did, so it was kind of a connection that we already had. But my big is my best friend. She's the person that I can text at 3 o'clock in the morning crying about something stupid, and she'll just be like, you know what, it's okay, do you want me to drive and come get you? Like, we have Walking Dead nights after meetings on Sundays. Like, if she sees me, she hugs me. Even if I just saw her 10 minutes ago, she'll still hug me again. She's my best friend, and I don't know what I'd ever do without her, so.
I chose her as my big because me and her have so much in common. She's so funny and she's so smart, and even though now we're not the same major, I aspire to be like her, because she's just, even people like who say really negative things about her, she comes out smiling, and she can be the bigger person no matter what the situation is. And even when there's days where I'm like, I can't do this anymore, I don't know what I'm gonna do, she's like, no, keep your head up, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be all right. And she's one of the reasons why ASA was my choice as well.
The big is usually just like the best mentor for their little. The littles are the best thing that could happen to their bigs. We call them like families, because they really are families within the sorority. You know, you can always count on those people to be there for you no matter what. Even if you do something wrong, your big's always going to be there for you. If your little does something wrong, you're still going to love her no matter what. It's just a really cool bond within the bond of your sisterhood.
Oh, my favorite part of ASA. There's so many things that I love about ASA. I'd have to say, do I have to pick one? I say the philanthropy. I love what we do with our philanthropies. I love that. And then also the relationships and sisterhood that I found.
My favorite part of ASA is just all of my sisters, basically. We all hang out all the time, do different community service projects together, different aims, which spiritual, intellectual, physical, all of those, social, we do them all together. I think just everything together in general is my favorite part, and my sisters that I will always be friends with forever.
My favorite part of ASA and being in ASA is just being able to walk to class and not being able to not say hi to somebody, because you know somebody on your way to class, and it's whether it's waving to them or saying, hey, how are you, or just full on dropping everything and doing a dead sprint to hug them. It's the coolest thing in the world to not only know your sisters, but it causes you to know everybody outside and everybody in Greek life, and it's one gigantic family.
There's been some times when it's gotten a little rough, but we've made it through, and I feel like we are only growing stronger. And being on eBoard, I have seen a lot of new, different sides of ASA, and so it's been a little tougher, but it's been a really exciting and fun adventure. It's been a true adventure.
Probably the main thing that I love is our sisterhood. I think that it's probably the most important thing out of the sorority is to be close to your sisters, always be there for each other, constantly letting each other know how much you care about each other, being there for one another through the good and the bad times.
Sisterhood, I would say, is a really big aspect of our sorority. I don't know where we'd be without it. I mean, obviously there's always going to be like the girls within an organization who don't get along, but for the most part, like this sorority brings us together in a way that is kind of like unexplainable. Like, even if you are completely different from another girl. You have this thing that ties you together, and that's just like an incredible bond that you have.
I feel like if we didn't have a sisterhood, then we would just be another organization on campus. I think that's what makes us stand out as a sorority, is that it is a sisterhood, and we're not just girls hanging out and getting together. Like, we literally, like, these girls are my sister, and I do care for them like a sister because I never had a sister and I always wanted one, and now that I have one, it's like amazing because I have thousands.
I love having all these girls as my friends and my sisters and people I can count on no matter what, and just talking to them when I need someone to talk to.
There have been times when I was like really upset and the only people there for me was everyone in my sorority. Like, even people that I don't really hang out with that often, they would like just step up and say super sweet, nice things to me because they actually do care about me.
I am currently serving as the chapter president, and so as that chair, you get to see a whole different side of the sorority. You see all the ins and outs, you see the background stuff, but you also see the different bonds that are formed within the sorority on like a bigger level, and it's cool to go from like a new member, like to taking all your different chairs to being president, because you get to see different levels of it.
So much that I've learned being a member of ASA, not only the friendships that I've made and everything. They always say that sororities aren't for 4 years, they're for life, and I really do believe that. I've found connections everywhere. Like the other day I was at Hobby Lobby and this old lady was like, oh, I was a member of ASA back when I was in college. So you run into sisters everywhere, and I feel like that's the one thing is like no matter where I go, I'll always have my sisters.
Before, I didn't really know a lot of people, but now I know like everyone. Like, I can't walk down that long walk without waving at someone that I know.
You know, these girls have helped me through so much already. You know, with my current situation with my grandmother basically on the verge of passing away, and you know, I've been to meetings, I haven't been to a lot of events this semester because of school and working and taking care of her at the same time. And I've gotten a lot of texts and people are like, hey, do you need anything? Do you want anything? Is there anything I can do for you? Or some girls even show up at my job and just sit there and talk to me because they just wanted to see if I was doing okay. So I don't know what I would do without these girls, to be honest. They're sisters that I wish I'd had a long time ago, for sure.
And to know that no matter what, I'm gonna have somebody that's gonna be there for me. Like, if I needed something, I have 54 other girls that I can call at any time of the day and say, hey, this is what I need, and they'll be there for me. So that's probably the best part of being a sorority.
My experience with ASA is super awesome.
ASA in one word: home.